Hi there, friend. Erin Chase here from $5 Dinners, and welcome to another episode of the Dinner Made Easy show. And we are cooking Instant Pot mac and cheese today. If you've never done this, stick around. It's super easy. I have a couple of guidelines for you to make this work, and then of course you can, use whatever cheeses you want to flavor it. We're going to use 3 cheeses today: cheddar, sharp cheddar, and Parmesan. I'm actually cooking pasta now, so I can show you how to start it, and then you cook it, and how to finish it. A lot of times with the Instant Pot recipes, I'll just kind of give you the directions. But this time I'm going to show you, because I have 2 Instant Pots. I'm that nerdy about it all. I'm gonna do that. So I have one going that should be finished about the time we are ready to get this one going and cooking. So if you've never cooked with your Instant Pot before, stick around, you're gonna learn a lot. If you've never made pasta in your Instant Pot, stick around, you're gonna learn a lot. And mac and cheese, super delicious. So we're gonna just jump right in and get started. So I have over here, this is an 8 quart. You could use this recipe in a 6 quart. The recipe is on the video. And let's see if I can put this link here. I'm gonna feature that link. I'm not sure what that means, but you should be able to see a link somewhere. Tap that, save it, print it, pin it, whatever you do with your recipes, that's that. So I'm gonna get it going here. So I'm gonna tilt down. Again, this is the 8 quart. This is gonna make a pound's worth of pasta. All right, the first thing that we're gonna do is add in 3 cups of chicken stock. I'm gonna make it quickly with the bouillon base. That's how we do chicken stock around here. It's the most affordable, healthiest option. So let me actually, I think I'm just gonna whisk this right into the insert. So it's basically 3 cups of water with 3 teaspoons of the base, which I'm just gonna eyeball for the sake of time. A little extra flavor is not gonna hurt this, okay? So the reason that we're cooking the pasta in the broth is because it's just gonna taste better, okay? The pasta will soak in, the way that the pressure cooker works, the pasta will soak in that chicken flavor. You could use veggie stock if you wanted. You could even use beef stock. It does not matter to me. If you were gonna mix in some beef later, use a beef stock. What am I doing? I'm making this harder than it needs to be. I'm also gonna add a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. That's also just to give the base of this a pop of flavor, okay? So I'm just gonna, you can't really see that, can you? I don't know if my phone will stay. Oh, there goes the pasta. If I go full, there we go. Ah, look at that. Okay, so just gonna whisk that in. That's warm water, so that bouillon base will just dissolve right in there. And then this is going to be what we add the pasta to. Now, I'm gonna cook this with rotini pasta. You could use any small or medium shell pasta, from a shell to an elbow to a penne. It doesn't really matter. The reason that I'm using the rotini is because I want a whole lot of cheese sauce happening here, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and add 16-ounce bags of rotini. And here's a guideline for you, okay? All this pasta needs to be underwater. I literally can't. If you're typing a comment, I'll catch it later. I can't see anything. I'm just trusting that this is filming, so hopefully nothing goes wrong. So you can see that we're gonna need to add water to this. I probably wouldn't need to add too much water to the 6 quart, but because this one's wider, an 8 quart, you're just gonna need to add half a cup of water at a time, to the point where all of the pasta is, what I say, swimming or underwater. And that's so that we don't end up with any chewy pieces of pasta that don't get cooked in the liquid. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a half a cup and see. That might be enough. I might need to do a little bit more of this just to see. I might do another 1/4 cup or so. But anyways, add however much you need. Every little insert is, well, many of them are standard, but there are different sizes of appliances. So use as much liquid as you need. So this is about 3/4 cups here for me. That's gonna be perfect. All right, from here, perfect timing. The other one's ready to go. Okay, so from here, we are going to transfer this. We're gonna cook the pasta like this, and then we'll add the cheese and all that other goodies, all the other goodies after it's cooked. So put the lid on. Bring it a little closer. Here we go. All right, put the lid on. I never do well with mirrored. Put the valve back to venting, sealing, sorry, manual, and we're gonna drop the time down to 6 minutes, okay? 6 minutes, we're going to let that come to pressure and cook. Another thing about this is also really fast. So this is 6 minutes, and like I said, the other one's ready, so I'm gonna let that pressure valve go. It's gonna be loud for a second. So the pressure valve is running on the other one. As soon as that is released, then I will bring it over. Sorry, I know that's super loud. I will bring it over, but while we're waiting for that, let me show you what we're gonna mix in. Okay, here's what we have. Okay, when this, you like the trash can in the back? Sorry, that's Char, welcome, I'm glad you're here. You can catch the replay. We're making Instant Pot pasta. Okay, so I actually was cooking another one. That's what you hear. And then we're just gonna have an extra batch of macaroni, which is fine. We'll have it for lunch tomorrow and whatnot. So we've already got the pasta going. 3 cups of chicken stock, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, whisked all that together, poured in a pound of rotini pasta, and then I had to add about another 3/4 cups of water just to get all of the pasta underwater so that it will cook like this. All right, let me show you this. Here, my little spatula. Here. I'm right here, sorry. All right, it's gonna look like this. Ooh, it's gonna be steamy, hang on. Woo! You guys, you never know what's gonna happen live. Okay, I'm gonna give this a little stir through. There is some liquid in here, and that is fine. That is how it's supposed to be. You can probably see through what the phone camera is capturing that a lot of this is going to steam off, okay? So you might even just, this insert is still very warm. There's probably about a 1/2 cup of liquid still in here, but that's gonna be part of the base of the cheesy sauce, okay? And this sauce, it's kind of like, it's almost like a Instant Pot pasta water, if you will. But it's flavored with that chicken stock and the mustard. That will thicken as this cools down. So don't open your Instant Pot and be like, oh my gosh, this pasta still, it hasn't soaked up enough water. It has, okay? It's just, this is gonna become the base, and of course the pasta will still cook for the next minute or two since we've taken it out of the base. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna add in butter. For a pound, you're probably gonna need about 4 tablespoons of butter, more or less, depending on how much of that buttery creaminess you want in there. We're gonna mix that in and it'll melt quickly. This is another reason why this is so fast. It takes 6 minutes to cook, plus maybe 4 or 5 minutes to come to pressure. All you have to do is mix in the cheeses and it's essentially ready to go on the table. So this start to finish could be 15 minutes. If you wanted to mix in some other ingredients, you could. If you wanted it to become like a 1-dish dinner or 1-dish sort of pasta situation, you could add something like shredded chicken or tuna or canned chicken, browned ground beef, if you wanted to do something like that, where you kind of, mix it all in. Did you guys eat this when you were kids? I feel like when I was a kid, like one of the things that my mom always made was tuna, peas, and macaroni and cheese. Was that a thing for y'all? Maybe not, I don't know, maybe just me. Okay, the next I'm gonna add, so that sauce actually thickened up from just adding the butter plus just letting some of that steam off, okay? This is also just like oddly satisfying stirring pasta with you, as my kids would say. All right, the next I'm gonna add, I didn't make the full pound of pasta here, so what you might see me adding is slightly different from what's the actual full pound recipe. Don't be alarmed, I know. But the actual recipe for, probably 6 to 8 servings of that 1 pound of pasta is going to be what you see in the comments, as well as here tagged on the video. So you can see it's a little soupy, right? But it's okay, it's gonna thicken up. 1, when we add this cheese, and 2, as it cools down. Okay, I'm gonna save some of this cheese for the other batch that we have cooking. I wanted to do it this way for you, for the video. Sorry, someone's one's out front. It's okay. Don't be alarmed. Okay, so then I'm just gonna stir in this cheese and you'll start to see it will melt really quickly. And it's going to be, who wants macaroni and cheese for dinner?
Me.
Okay, this is a popular one. The boys just got home. So here we go. We just got to get those, so those are some thick cheddar right there. So I'm just going to stir this until it melts, and that's it. So let me give you a super quick recap. Again, the recipe is linked in the comments. It's also linked here on the video. And there, that cheese. Those thick shreds take a little longer to melt. Okay, this is a pound of rotini pasta. We have it actually cooking right over here. I showed you this. If you're just joining, you can watch the replay where we do that, but I'm going to give you the recap. So it's a pound of rotini or small shell pasta. We're going to add 3 cups of chicken stock. That's going to be so cheesy and delicious. Sorry, I'm rewinding on the recap. Okay, a pound of rotini or small shell pasta. 3 cups of chicken stock or broth. I used bouillon base with a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Gives it a little pop of flavor, a little tang. We're gonna add the rotini pasta into that liquid. Maybe add a little bit more liquid. I would do a half or a quarter cup at a time until all of the pasta is underwater, if that makes sense. You don't want any pasta sticking out so that any is chewy later, because that's kind of gross. Let's see if we can get a little closer here. We're gonna set that on high pressure mode, which is what's happening right over here. We're gonna set that on high pressure mode for 6 minutes, and then we're going to pull it out of pull the Instant Pot insert out of the base. We're gonna stir a little bit, it'll be a little bit liquidy, but it will thicken, I promise. This cheese is still melting. It will thicken as it cools, okay? We're gonna add in 4 tablespoons of butter with about a cup of cream. If you don't have cream or you happen to have evaporated milk, I think that's a really good base. I prefer those kind of thicker milks for the base of mac and cheese. If you don't have either of those and you have whole milk, 2% or even 1%, you could definitely use those. I don't recommend skim milk. I just don't think it doesn't make the right cheesiness for the base. And then we added in Parmesan, half cup of Parmesan, a cup or a cup and a half of mild cheddar, and a cup or a cup and a half of sharp cheddar, depending on how cheesy you want it. Of course, from here, you can then go in and add in other mix-ins, whether it's a protein like tuna or canned chicken or browned ground beef or shredded chicken, like rotisserie style chicken. You could add in other vegetables, whatever you like to mix into mac and cheese, or you can just eat it like this. Totally up to you, but that is how you make Instant Pot mac and cheese. I hope that you will save this recipe, get it added to an upcoming meal plan, and see how easy it is to do mac and cheese in the Instant Pot. Now that you know how to just straight cook pasta, there's lots of different types of pasta recipes you can cook in the Instant Pot. I generally cook the pasta with that chicken stock base, if you will, just to give it a little pop of flavor, and then mix in whatever other types of things are going to be mixed in. You can cook pasta with other ingredients. I don't prefer to pressure cook too much dairy, which is why I cook the pasta first and then add the cheesy parts later. If I was making like a tomato or marinara based sauce, I probably would put that in and cook the pasta in the marinara based sauce. But for mac and cheeses, I like to cook it in the stock and then add the cheese after it cooks. That's just my personal preference. You can pressure cook with dairy. I just try to avoid it if there's an easy alternative like this. So that is what I got for you, my friends, on this week's episode of the Dinner Made Easy Show. Next week, it's another pasta meal. We're gonna be making cheeseburger pasta in the skillet. So that's another really fast, easy weeknight meal. I know somebody commented earlier, like, beef is so expensive. I know, friends, it is, it's hard, but this is still an affordable option. We're pairing it with inexpensive things like pasta, canned tomatoes, just some simple seasonings. It's a super delicious and affordable option. I'll give you all the money-saving tips for that meal next week. So that is all for this episode of the Dinner Made Easy Show, friends. Get this added to your meal plan. Get this made. It might be your new family favorite. And I look forward to seeing you on an upcoming episode next week.